Howdy, 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 folks. It's your boy Tanks coming at you guys with another video. And in today's video, I'm counting down the top 5 monster tanks I recommend you guys grabbing when this free op comes around. Monster Mash. Every single year, this Monster Mash op comes out, and it allows you to pick up a free monster tank. Now, whether you use this tank for World War II or for the monster mode, that's up to you. I'm going to be basing this list off of the monster mode because I'm addicted to it, you know. So, when I say top 5, number 1 will be my number 1 pick for the best monster tank that you can grab, and then 2 being the second best, 3rd best, 4th best, and 5 being the 5th best tank that you can pick up in the Monster Mash. Anything past my 5th pick is up to you. I could care less at that point. I have named all the tanks that I care about. Now, a couple little caveats. I'm only basing this list off of tanks I've owned or reviewed, okay? And I'm only basing this list off of free tanks. That means it doesn't count for things that cost money, like the Dread Dozer, the Fangula, the 3 new tanks this year. None of those tanks are going to go on this list. This is going to be for the strictly free tanks, strictly the tanks that you can earn from the op. Alrighty, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into this video. Starting with number 5, which is going to be the Höllenhund. The Höllenhund is the German light tank, and its awoken power is when the more damage it takes, the better this tank gets, the better the reload gets, the better the traverse gets, the better the gun handling gets. The better things get on this tank, the more damage it takes. Now, the reason why this thing takes number 5 and not anywhere else higher up is down to the fact that this tank doesn't become good until you are pretty much dead. You have to get more than half your health taken away for this tank to even start doing anything that a Lycan can do, or that a Spectre can do. And in the monster mode, hit points are a huge factor in deciding whether you're gonna win this game or not. And so already getting half your hit points taken away just to be a threat is sort of a crutch. But that aside, when this thing does lose some health, it is an actual insane monster to deal with. It has a reload of like 0.3 seconds, and you'll do 200 something damage every single 0.3 seconds, which is actually insane. So that's why I'm giving it a number 5 spot. If it had this DPM through the entire lifespan of it, then it would definitely, no doubt, take number 1, but it can't be all broken. Or can it? Wait to see what number 1 is. Alright. Alrighty, number 4. The 4th best tank I suggest you guys grabbing in this Monster Mash mode. And that is going to be taken by the Bellerophon. Now, the Bellerophon is an excellent support tank. It is really good for pulling enemies to your side of the map, pulling them into your enemy's line of fire, or pushing dangerous tanks away from your teammates or yourself. So in this capacity, it is incredibly good. Couple that with its incredibly good turret armor that will pretty much bounce everything that's fired at you in this game, except for the HEs and stuff like that. And this tank is a solid competitor. Pro strat is just get this thing on a ridgeline, play it with a group of people, and either pull people that are trying to hide back into your teammates, or if you see somebody that is getting like a Gorniche of getting too close for comfort, push that guy back. And if you do happen to push him into, sadly, a teammate, or pull him into a teammate, that person will lose a lot of HP, but so will your teammate. So you gotta be sort of careful to not kill your teammates with this, because it is super easy for people to get in your way when you're pulling or pushing someone, and then just a Gorniche flying into them at the speed of light and, you know, killing them. And also, if you're gonna die, you might as well pull them into you, because that'll obviously kill yourself, but it'll also take a huge chunk of HP off of your person. Sort of like Marty Dom. Alright, let's move on to the number 3 position. Number 3 is going to be the Kaiju. Now, a lot of you might be like, I don't know about that, but the Kaiju is a super solid tank, and I'm going to tell you why. The Kaiju is the Gorniche killer. It might not be very good on this big open proc map, but if you get Himmelsdorf, there's no other tank that I'd rather be in than a Kaiju. Now, a Kaiju's awoken power is that it cannot be set on fire, which is why this is a perfect tank for taking out Gorniches, because all Gorniches do is set you on fire. And if they can't set you on fire, they're forced to try to pen you with their average pen and try to get damaging shots on you, which is hard because the Kaiju's armor is pretty good, okay? The Kaiju also has two really good ammunition choices. One that's just a straight shooter that does a decent amount of damage, has a good reload on it, and then the second one is a flamethrower. These both are, the flamethrower is really good for close quarters, and then the other one is really good for mid to long ranges and even close quarter also. So the damage output on this thing, even though you're a big rectangle of a tank, is pretty dang good. Now some pro tips with this tank, you guys. Stay in a group. Stay in a group of tanks, because anything that's by himself is going to get taken out super easily, especially on proc. And then second, if you guys see a Gornich, you don't want to just YOLO him, okay? But you do want to be the person that he is focused on, because you won't be able to get set on fire by his attacks. So you can take a lot of damage for tanks that can't take that kind of damage. And just keep on making your guns sing. That's pretty much it. Stick together, focus Gorniches down, and you guys are going to have some good times. Alright, baby, let's talk about number 2, the second best monster tank that I feel, in my opinion, and that is going to go to the Lycan. The Lycan has two awoken powers. The first one being that it takes 0 fall damage. If you want to throw yourself off the top of Himmelsdorf, do 70 front flips and land on your head, you can do that and you'll take no damage. And the second one is when this thing is loaded, its gun handling is way good. Its inner clip reload is like 0.5 seconds. Has a 200 alpha damage. It can dump its entire clip in a matter of seconds and it will do 1,000 damage to a tank. Also, this thing's gun handling is better. Its maneuverability is better. All well in the awoken state. Now, when you're not in the awoken state, i.e. when you're reloading, you turn back into a regular Lycan. You're slow, you're sluggish, you take forever to get up to speed, you have really bad gun handling even though you can't fire your gun. This is the balancing factor to the Lycan. But let me give you some pro tips on how to play this tank real quick. So you'll be able to circle any tank in the game, okay? You want to focus down people that are by themselves, you want to focus down heavy tanks, and you want to focus down light tanks. Other Lycans are very dangerous to keep alive to the end of the game. And what you want to do is you want to pretty much dump your clip, but save one in the shell. Don't dump that last shot when you're in an engagement. You want to use that shell so you can still have a lot of speed and mobility to get the heck out of the engagement to safety, then pop your reload and then go for your reload. But never use that last shell. Keep that last shell until you're safe. Obviously, if you're safe and you can get out of there without the shell, then sure, do it. But that is how I play my Lycan. In, out, dump your clip, reload, rinse and repeat. Keep your hit points and you are going to do a lot of damage in this tank. Alrighty, let's move on to the moment we've all been waiting for. The #1 best free tank in the monster game mode, and that is, drum roll please, the Craft Panther. You guys might have seen this coming, you might not have seen it coming, but in my opinion, the Craft Panther, the Revenant Craft Panther, is the best monster tank that is free in the game at this time. Now, let me explain what the awoken powers are in this thing, because it has a lot of awoken powers. The first one being, you don't show up on the radar for the enemies. The enemies cannot see your outline. You look like all the other dead Craft Panthers that are scattered through this map. You can't auto-lock on these guys. And the only way to do full damage to these things is if you shoot it in the turret. If you shoot it in the hole, you're not doing full damage to it. This tank is an absolute beast. And it doesn't stop there. It also has two really good ammunitions. The first one is a low alpha, high fire rate. The second one, which is the main one that I use, is a 800 alpha damage shot. Put all of these things together and you are an actual force to be reckoned with on the field. They're just so annoying to find, first of all, and to take them out. You can't auto aim, so you actually have to use skill if you're in a light tank. Here's some pro tips for you guys on how to play this tank, and that's pretty much sit at the mid line or the back line and just snipe. If you see another Revenant, focus him down first. And if you see some light tanks, shoot them. Just shoot anything that comes over in front of you guys. They're going to be distracted with your teammates, so you're going to have plenty of time to aim your shells and hit these guys. You just got to keep that gun singing, that 800 alpha singing. This monster mode is only around for a short time, you guys, so go and play this monster mode, get your points, and get your free tank, alright? Alright, you guys, that is going to be a wrap for this video. The top 5 favorite monster tanks in my opinion. Why don't you guys do me a favor and go down to the comments section and let me know your guys' 5 favorite monster tanks, your top 5 favorite monster tanks, alright? Also, while you're at it, why don't you do me a favor and ammo wreck the like and subscribe button. Go hit the bell in the top right, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.